This session is focused on your lats, your back, and also the shoulders. It's going to be a nice stretchy session. So we're going to start off stood up, and then we're going to sort of make our way down to the floors. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off in a really lovely position. It's a variation of down dog. We're going to start off against the wall. So I'm placing my hands shoulder width apart, or maybe slightly wider, fingers nicely splayed. As I walk my hands down, I'm going to walk my feet down. And I'm going to keep my feet hip width apart, and I'm just going to drop my head through my arms. If this is really working my hamstrings and my glutes too much, bend those knees and just really work on moving that body for 3, for 2, for 1. Good. Walking those hands up the wall. Taking our left hand onto the wall now and placing it shoulder height 90 degrees from the body. We're slowly going to start walking our body round towards the other side of the room. You might wish to change where your fingers are directed, so you might have the fingers facing behind you. So from a front angle, you're going to be like this. I'm slowly going to walk my body round. So I'm feeling a nice stretch across the pecs, also all of those connecting tissue, muscles, ligaments, tendons that form that shoulder joint. Squeezing my shoulder blades together for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly moving all the way around. And now walking around the other way. So again, you might want to change where your fingers are directed. I'm going to walk into this position, bringing my right shoulder towards the wall, feeling stretch now across the other side, so across the back, into shoulder, into the deltoid area. For 3, maybe moving up and down. 2, for 1. Slowly releasing out of that position. Taking your left hand now over the top of your head. Again, placing that hand on the wall. You might not find that that's possible. So if you find when placing your left hand up, you're creating an excessive extension in your spine, so curving your spine to compensate for that action, then just take your left hand up and bring your right hand over the top into this nice stretch here. So you would have done this maybe for tricep. So if you'd like to, you can have your hand on your shoulder blade, or you can have that palm facing upwards to create a little bit more rotation there. Otherwise, if you're against the wall, try to tuck those ribcage in, walk that left hand down, really feeling a pull all the way down the outside and into your lats. For 3, if you've got a wide elbow, bring it up. For 2, for 1. Good, slowly releasing. Rolling that left shoulder out, going for the right side. So my right hand is now on the wall. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to walk away from that hand, feeling a nice pull on my pecs and the front of that shoulder area. Holding, keeping your breathing here, try not to push it too hard. Just feel that movement. The other thing is that when we're using our body or we're upright in this position, we really want the movement to come from our shoulder, not necessarily from our torso or our hips. So as we're moving around, make sure your torso is in line with the hips. For 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly walking all the way around. Hugging yourself essentially. Maybe adjusting where your fingers are. Maybe wiggling up and down, keeping your shoulders nice and low. For 3, for 2, for 1. Good. From here, you're going to take your right hand over the top of your shoulder, or if you did this the first time, take that hand over the top, take your left hand over the top, and then reach down and really pull through that elbow. Otherwise, we're going to be on the wall. Just watch what your spine, your lower part of your body is doing. Keep breathing here. Tuck that ribcage in. For 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly releasing, rolling those shoulders out, coming down onto the mat or onto the floor in a nice seated position. So I'm going to be on my knees. If that's uncomfortable, just drop down to your bottom. Taking my hands together, linking my fingers. twisting my palms towards the front of the room, pushing my palms away from my body. So from here, I've come from palms towards my body, twisting under, lengthening out those arms as much as I can. So for some of you, this might be a great position which is working you. If this is not enough or you're not feeling a pull, really actively push those palms towards the front of the room. Tuck that tummy in, so tuck the ribcage in and round the back just slightly, tucking the chin in towards the chest. For 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly releasing out of that position, taking those hands behind the back. So linking those fingers or grabbing hold of your wrist here. So you can grab hold of your wrist here, or you can link your fingers, or you can sort of grab however you want. You can also grab your top if that is enough of a stretch for you. What we were looking for is your shoulder blades coming close together, pulling on the front of that shoulder area. But otherwise, linking those fingers, pulling up, feeling a nice long pull over the front of those shoulders. So it doesn't matter about how high you lift those arms. What we're trying to do is drive those wrists towards the floor, open up the chest. For 3, for 2, for 1. Good. Whichever position you're in, seated or on your knees, we're going to take our right hand down towards the mat, or you can hold it on your thigh, lifting that left hand up towards the ceiling, and we're just going to hinge towards the side. So as we do so, we're going to feel a pull all the way down our lats, outside of our torso. Try and imagine you're between 2 panes of glass here. Take your gaze up towards the ceiling if that's comfortable. For 3, for 2, for 1. So you're sweeping that hand forwards, get a little bit of movement in the thoracic spine, dropping that hand down. We're going to do the same arm again. So lifting that left hand up towards the ceiling, taking your gaze up towards that hand, slowly hinging over, trying to keep your lower body in place in this position, either on your bottom, on a chair, on the sofa, maybe not the sofa, on your knees. For 3, keep breathing. For 2, you're going to feel a nice pull here. 1, sweep that hand forwards, allow your head to follow your torso. Good. Other side, reaching that right hand up towards the ceiling. Trying to get as much length when we sort of reach up to try and get that stretch going. Hinging over towards the side. You might feel a couple of clicks here. Take your gaze up towards the ceiling if that's comfortable. Otherwise, keep it in a nice neutral position. And you can really go as low as you like. What you want to try and avoid is hinging forwards too much or hinging back too much. What we really want to do is target this area. So imagine again we're between 2 panes of glass. Keeping those hips nice and fixed. For 3, for 2, for 1. Sweeping that hand forwards. Dropping it down to the mat, sitting upright, taking that right hand up once again. So reaching, getting some length, feeling your ribcage lifting here. Hinging over. For 3, for 2, for 1. Sweeping that hand forwards all the way, if you can. Dropping it down towards the mat. Rolling out those shoulders. Taking those hands together, linking the palms, taking up your palms to the top of the roof or to the ceiling, shall I say, reaching up. And from here, we're just going to hinge back just slightly. So nothing too drastic. Hinge back just slightly. And then we're going to allow our shoulders and our hands to draw a big semicircle in front of us. As we do so, and when we get to 90 degrees, consciously lower those shoulders, but keep pushing those palms towards the front of the room. For 2, for 1. Good. Releasing those hands, rolling out those shoulders. Last couple of positions. So we're going to take our hands out in front of us. So if you are cross-legged or on a chair or on a sofa, come down onto your knees if you can. Take those hands out in front of you. You can take those knees nice and wide if that's more comfortable. Walk those hands out as much as you possibly can. And then slowly walk both hands towards the right-hand side of the room, keeping both armpits really close to the floor where possible. Keeping your head down as well. I know you'll probably be looking at the screen, but try and keep that neck aligned with your spine where possible. And then just moving one armpit in and then the other armpit. Take some nice long deep breaths here. Allow your body to adjust into this position. If you feel as though you're relaxing a little bit too much, take that stretch a little bit further. Just be wary about overstretching the intercostal muscles. It can be quite sore. For 3, for 2, for 1. Walking those hands back to a nice central position. Walking them out and then moving round towards the left-hand side of the room. Just taking your time to get there. There's no rush. Keep your breathing nice and slow, nice and long. Just be relatively comfortable. Maybe moving one armpit in or down and then the other armpit, creating a bit of a rocking sensation. 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly walking those hands back towards the front of the room, coming onto your elbows, bringing your knees into hip width apart and just doing a couple of thoracic rotations. So now moving up towards where your hands are or where your elbows were, placing your hands there, so all fours, 4 points. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand underneath our left armpit, dropping our shoulder towards the mat. And then we're going to hold this for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly with control, push up. Rotate your torso around towards the right hand side of the room and lift that arm up as much as possible. You might find that lifting that arm up is hard. Just bend that elbow and take your gaze up towards the ceiling. Alternatively, you can take the hand as far up as you can for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly dive down. So take that right hand underneath that left armpit, drop down, get a bit of a twist in that thoracic spine for 2, for 1. Slowly lifting up as high as you'd like to go for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly coming down with control, trying to avoid letting that hand slam down towards the floor. You'll find one side lightly tighter than the other, so just be kind to yourself and just go with how your body's feeling. So take that left hand underneath that right armpit, reaching out. You don't have to have the palm facing a particular direction here. You're going to feel this on the back of your left hand shoulder blade area. 2, for 1. So sitting up, taking that hand up and around and twisting up. Again, just bending at the elbow if you need to for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly with control. Lower that left arm all the way down to a nice stretch position. Keep breathing here for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly moving all the way up or as far up as you feel comfortable to do so for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly coming down. Good, with control. Popping back onto your heels or coming back into a nice seated position. Just rolling those shoulders out. Move your neck from side to side. If you'd like to have a little bit more of a stretch on the outside of the shoulders, then you can just pop your arm across your body and pull it into your body. So your right hand forwards, take it across the left hand side of the room. Use your left hand to pull it into the body for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly releasing other side. Of course, if you've had enough, you don't need to do this. For 3, for 2, for 1. Last little bit, rolling those shoulders. Thank you so much. I hope you feel a little bit more mobile in that area, especially if you've got a job or you're doing workouts that are really working that shoulder area. There is nothing more important. Well, there are a couple of things that are really important, but this is up there in terms of the importance in terms of your shoulder health. So just keep with it and the thoracic mobility. And I hope you enjoyed the session, and I'll see you next session. Thank you very much.